if I can tell my story, if I could tell EJ's story and give a wake-up call to the parents that this can happen to you.
Cindy Johnson is hoping you'll listen to her potentially life-saving message.
We met the suburban Phoenix mom during our Target 8 investigation into infant swim lessons and how effective they really are. Johnson is a supporter, even though her toddler drowned last February after taking the lessons.
But tonight, 24-hour News 8 Susan Samples turns the focus away from infant swimming and onto what Cindy Johnson hopes you learn from her baby boy's drowning.
It's extremely difficult when people ask you how many kids you have. Do I say 2 or do I say 3? Because in my heart, I still have 3.
Cindy Johnson wants you to know her son.
He was definitely going to be the charmer, the social butterfly.
She also wants you to know how he died.
That night, we were all sitting up in the living room.
It was Cindy, her 11 and 13-year-old daughters, and EJ, who was almost 1.5. Cindy's husband, EJ's dad, was serving in Iraq, missing another milestone.
That night is when we actually first started hearing him to say thank you. And so we would take the ball and hand it around to each of us so he would learn to say thank you.
When Cindy went to put a pizza in the oven and do a couple things around the house, she knew where EJ was, in the living room with her daughters. The oldest girl was on a couch, the youngest back and forth between the living room and her bedroom. But when the oven buzzer went off 15 minutes later,
I said, okay, dinner's ready, and I came back into the living room, and it was quiet. And it's not usually quiet.
Each of Cindy's daughters thought EJ was with the other one.
And so the immediate panic went in. So I'm calling for his name, and I went into the kitchen, and I didn't even bother looking out the back door. Even though the main glass door was open, the screen door was closed.
It was closed, but the self-latching mechanism was broken. Cindy and the girls searched frantically through the house before noticing the screen door now stood open. They'd lost precious time. The reason safety experts say if a child is missing, run to the pool first.
As soon as I flipped the light on the backyard, that's where he was. He was face down, and he was right by the edge, And I grabbed him. She took him out of my arms and came right into our living room and immediately started CPR.
Cindy's oldest daughter had just learned CPR through a babysitting class. If you don't already know CPR, Cindy Johnson hopes you'll learn it now.
She knew exactly what to do. Our younger one went in and started calling 911, and it was the absolute most terrifying moment. Something that you would never think that would happen to you, because we were all at home. I seen him.
And EJ, who faithfully followed his mom and sisters around the house, always under someone's foot, had never walked outside by himself before.
Because we were always there. Why he walked out the back door, I have no idea. What possessed him to reach up and on his little tippy toes, and did I think he could reach it? No, I didn't. But he did.
Once outside the door, it was a straight shot to the pool, which had no barrier, nothing to block access to the pool from the house. What the pool did have, something experts say you should always remove. This floating beach ball may have attracted EJ. Cindy had no idea it was there.
There's so many woulda, coulda, shouldas that I feel guilty every single moment. I do.
A week after the accident, when it was clear EJ's brain showed no activity, his mom and dad made the decision to unhook the machines.
When I was laying with him, I held him in my arms and I told him that it was okay. I said, go to the angels. I said, it's okay. I said, I just want him to be okay. I want him to be happy again. I want him to dance on the clouds. I want him to smile again. So I told him to go to the angels. And I'll always keep in my heart.